Hey now, it's the Rob from Kiss 106 and 103gbfrocks.com. Here with my tag team partner in podcasting. Would you look at him, the Viking Raider himself, Jerry Valeri. Good morning, Jer.
Yowie wowie, kids. Are we going to have a fun time today?
Yes, we are. Hey, by the way, before we get started, I want to apologize. It is very unprofessional for me to have something in my mouth, but I'm trying to prevent a sore throat, so I have a cough drop in. Please excuse me now.
You are excused, sir, all day.
Thank you.
You can put anything in your mouth you want.
I appreciate that, pal. Thank you so much. How are
Absolutely.
you, Jerry?
I'm doing really well. Had a wonderful Easter. Caught up on that show you recommended. I think the Post to Post universe would all like to collectively thank you for pointing out the dark side of the ring. That show is excellent.
I got to tell you, after I made that recommendation, I saw like 3 or 4 people that comment on the post show share that they were watching it. That warmed my heart. I'm glad you guys watched it. Listen, I don't recommend something if I don't think you guys are going to like it.
I enjoyed all of them, but I thought the Bruiser Brody one was my favorite just because I didn't really know as much about that story.
Without a doubt, that one is the best.
And, I think it needs to be said, happy birthday today to Tony Atlas.
Is that today?
It's today, and he's a big part of that story, pal.
Yeah, he sure is. Seeing them talk about it, I mean, if you haven't seen it, you haven't seen it, but man, that's a great episode. And I also want to say, while I feel like I didn't learn a whole lot during the Montreal Screwjob episode, hearing Earl talk about it, hearing Jim Cornette and Vince Russo talk about it, man, I got to tell you, that one really over-delivered in my opinion. I
thought it was great. And I like just the little insights that I'd never heard before, even if it's just a joke, when Cornette was talking about how he was like, there's a 10%, there's a high percentage of chance someone's going to want to kick my ass in the next 20 minutes. So he leaves. He's in the car fumbling for his keys, and there's headlights, and someone's getting out of Dodge, and he's like, I beat Hebner out of the building.
He stopped at a Dairy Queen somewhere on the way too.
Sure.
Got that double cheese.
Mayo, double ketchup, double cheese, Mother Mother.
Have you ever seen that Raw YouTube video that they get the?
Yes. Jericho's in the car. It's great.
It's something. All right. Welcome to the show, everybody. Hey, by the way, another thing before, are we planning on doing, I saw you have a scheduling conflict tomorrow, right? Do you want to just do Thursday instead of tomorrow?
Yeah, can we just do Thursday? Because it's a big promotional meeting that I can't miss, and it's going to be a long time. I mean, they're buckling down and ordering food, and we're going to be in there a while.
I got you. Let's just go ahead and shoot for Thursday then.
Sounds great.
Do you have wait, did you say Thursdays are hard days for you? Or is this
Thursday? I'll be fine. I'll be fine on Thursday.
Okay, perfect. So then don't look for us tomorrow. Look for us on Thursday. And now let's get to Raw. I'm assuming that's where we should probably start.
Absolutely, starting with Raw. Where do you want to start with Raw? Do you want to start with what I thought was like the biggest newsworthy thing? Or do you want to start with the top of the show?
Let's see if we had the same, because there was a few things that were newsworthy. I'd give it a middle of the road kind of grade because one of my criteria is if you missed the show, I feel like you should feel like you missed a lot. And I feel like that could be said for this Raw. You missed a good bit if you missed Raw.
Yeah, you're behind the 8 ball when it comes to getting ready for Money in the Bank. And also there were a few character tweaks, some name changes, and reintroductions. And it was pretty great.
So I named the video. Again, I try to name it what I think is the most buzzworthy thing, what people might be going to YouTube to look up. So I actually went with Bray Wyatt and the Firefly Funhouse.
Firefly Funhouse, I think, is what I would have named it as well. I'm so interested on your thoughts on this.
Boy, I go back and forth. See, here's the thing. So under normal circumstances, I don't like when they 180 a character, when they make changes that make no sense. However, it's wrestling, and he went into the damn lake of reincarnation.
This all totally makes sense to me. It all makes total sense to me. He goes into the lake of reincarnation for the entire winter. He comes out, and he's still Bray Wyatt. He is so crazy. When it started, I was like, oh, God, what did we do? What is this? And by the end of it, I was like, this is brilliant. This is brilliant if they play it right. Rob.
I'm here. I'm gung ho. I'm all
He's gonna snap. He's gonna snap into madness. Like, I like psychopathic Bray Wyatt. He is as dark as ever. You just gave him a dark Blues Clues. I'm in. I didn't think I'd be in, but I'm in. Mercy the buzzard. Oh, mercy. I'm Emma the Witch.
It's funny. So was that what it reminded you of, was Blues Clues?
Blues Clues. Yeah, for sure.
For me, the biggest thing I never really watched Blues Clues. I was a little old for it. It reminded me of Pee-wee's Funhouse.
Yeah, Pee-wee's Playhouse for sure too. Yeah, absolutely. This is Cherry. This is Globy.
Yeah. But yeah, I can see both.
You know, he's listening to the voices in his head, and he's got the glove that says "hurt" doing that. I mean, he's gonna snap. Little chainsaw action, waving the chainsaw at the end of the show. Bye, kids.
I agree. I'm actually excited to see where this goes. I am aware that it could go terribly wrong.
Sure.
And that it has the potential to be really different in a good way.
In a really good way. Here's what I don't want. Here's what I do want. I want more vignettes like this. And I want, when he comes into the ring, for him to be a dominant force. I don't want him to be booked to lose feuds constantly, like he was before. But I also don't want the lights to go out and the lights to come on, and there's Mercy the buzzard in the ring. Like, I don't want Mercy wrestling.
Okay, well, I don't think Mercy's going to wrestle because Mercy is a sock puppet.
Well, Head had a match, pal.
Well, that was the Russo booking time, pal.
Yeah, I know.
I think we're probably safe. Although, boy, imagine if Mercy became like a Sacco kind of finish.
Yeah. See, maybe I would be okay with that.
Yeah, see, I didn't even have that thought until you just said that. But yeah, wouldn't that be kind of neat?
Emmy the Witch shows up.
What was the witch's name again? I was expecting to be Sister Abigail.
Emmy,
interesting.
I like the whole thing. I liked it. I liked his look. He looks like he's been working on his shoulder muscles underneath that sweater. I wonder what he's going to wear in the ring. Because I don't need another. I've already got Baron Corbin wrestling in a vest. I don't need him wrestling in a sweater.
I'm just going to say I'm optimistic. Was there any sort of tease as far as like a date, or they didn't say next week for Bray Wyatt, did they?
He said, see you next week, kids.
Yeah. Okay. See, I'm good. I'm good with this. See, 2 weeks ago, they gave us Mercy. Last week, they gave us, what was it, Emma? Emmy. This week, we get the actual Funhouse. Like, I like that kind of delivery for a storyline. I'm
curious because for the past couple of weeks, that we've gotten the Raptor or the Buzzard and we've gotten Emmy, we've gotten it on both Raw and SmackDown. I'm assuming at this point he's just strictly Raw.
That's an assumption that I can't confirm or deny, pal.
I mean, there's no way to predict it. Who knows? Who knows? Robert Roode showed up last night.
You want to talk about that?
I mean, the note I made, the mental note was, if Vince McMahon owned your radio stations, you'd be the Robert.
I suppose. Why did they make this? I mean, I know what do you think's behind this?
I don't know. Are they trying to make him look like Ravishing Rick Rude? Because like the mustache, the last name, the robe. I mean, now he's really Rick Ruding it up.
The mustache is what put it over the top for me. And Robert does sound more like Rick. So I don't exactly know if that's their motivation or not. I'd be surprised if that was the pitch, but I don't know.
Bobby Roode. I mean, I don't know. I don't get any of it. I love, and I felt some sort of satisfaction that the entire WWE universe shamed the WWF writing staff and creative into changing the Viking Experience name.
Boy, you know what? It's like, I hate to say that they told us so, but maybe they are listening.
Now the finisher is still called the Viking Experience. Did you notice that?
Totally cool with that.
Yeah, he was like, "That's the Viking Experience."
Yep,
I was like, that makes more sense. I'm okay with that. The Viking Raiders, if you can't have war, that's fine. But they just, they kind of got. There was more backlash for that than there should have been.
I feel like 2 years ago they would have done the opposite and just doubled down on the Viking Experience,
like with Roman Reigns.
Yeah, that's what I think they would have done. But now it's like, oh, they clearly hate this name. Let's work on it for them.
I did not hate Raw, but there's one thing that I absolutely loathed, hated. It took me out of it immediately. And nobody that I saw, and I looked today, I don't normally look for other people's reviews. I looked purposefully to see if anyone else was complaining about it, and nobody else was. So I think I'm the only one that either noticed it or cared.
I don't exactly know what you're talking about.
But I hated it.
I mean, it. There was something that I hated, but I don't think we're talking about the same thing.
I think we are to a degree. I know that you dislike. I mean, if I had to list Rob's wrestling pet peeves,
we're talking about the same thing.
I wouldn't knock them all off, but it's the waterfall promo at the very beginning. But I'm going to let you complain about the waterfall promo, and I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to leave that to you. For me, the only thing worse than a surprise waterfall promo setting up matches, triple threats, is while Triple H is coming to the ring to announce the matches and for us to get the waterfall promo, Michael Cole tells us exactly who will be coming out. Michael Cole told us what the two matches were before they made them in the ring. And I was like, as he's telling us all the matches, I'm like, okay, so this is how they're going to set it up, and they're going to jump right into the matches. No, Michael Cole started the show, explained exactly who was going to be in each of the two triple threat matches, and then we're to forget that just happened and spend the next 25 minutes being surprised when Rey Mysterio comes out and surprised when Samoa Joe comes out. We were told.
Let me ask
Samoa Joe and Rey and AJ's the first match. I already knew about Baron Corbin. You're not surprising me.
Hold on. Were they okay? I know that I remember when Triple H was walking out to the ring, they told us the 6 guys who were going to be competing for the #1 contender slot,
and what match they were in.
Did Triple H make the match in the ring?
That I don't know because I tuned out, but they all kept coming to the ring like it was a big surprise.
Okay.
Like, whoa. They all interrupted like, whoa, no, this is my spot. No, this is my spot. And I'm like, you told us who's it. If you're going to do the only redeeming quality about those awful waterfalls is that you don't know who's coming out next. And I nailed it.
I guess, so here's the thing. While I did hate that opening segment, and I'm happy to unload on it here in a second, I'm not going to take away points the way you are because, so here's the way I look at it. The surprise does not make or break the waterfall promo. For example, oftentimes, like when Money in the Bank is coming up and they have the 6 guys who are in the match, you already know who's in the match, and then they all come out and cut the little promos on each other. I felt like it was more like that. I don't consider that one a booking flaw, I guess.
I didn't like any of it. Like if I'm writing that segment, I do everything almost the same. I don't have Michael Cole say anything when they're coming to the ring. I have Triple H bring out Seth Rollins. You do that whole thing. They're in Iowa. I get it. You play to the crowd. You get the crowd's nice and hot. You work that up, and you tell Seth, there's going to be 2 triple threat matches tonight, and the winners of those are going to fight in the main event, and the winner of that whole thing is going to take you on at Money in the Bank, and that's that. And the first one's starting now. And then you bring them out, and Seth Rollins and Triple H either stay at ringside or they go away. But you don't need everything that they did to make it. It's stupid. The whole thing was so drawn out and terrible.
And what my least favorite part of it was, I mean, obviously, once Joe came out, and he was first after Seth. When Joe came out, I realized I was going to see all 6 guys, and it was just real quick to get to their catchphrase and then let the next guy talk. And it was, in my opinion, so poorly done.
It was poorly done. It really was. And they surprised the crowd with Samoa Joe being on Raw with, and he even cuts his promo like, I'm the U.S. champ and I'm here now. But Cole told us 2 minutes earlier that you're here.
Yeah.
I just hated that. I thought they were cutting off their nose.
I told you last week he was going to be there.
He was going to be there, yeah. They had to do something with one of the belts, but I guess he was sick last week. There was like a real legitimate reason he wasn't there last week.
Right, yeah. So that was that. I think we all probably feel the same way about that opening segment, but I don't want to speak for everybody.
The match was good.
Yeah, I didn't pay much attention to the in-ring last night. And then there's one other name change that we haven't talked about yet.
Well, let me see here. There's the Viking Raiders now. There's Robert Roode.
Did we cover the Viking Raiders?
We kind of did. I said how satisfying it was that they changed it.
Yeah, okay, I guess we did. But they, I really like them. I want them to do well, and maybe we've got a better chance now with the Viking Raiders.
Right. I like them a lot. I like them an awful lot. Michael on the Post-to-Post universe said it was from this weekend, I guess, because they get cheered pretty heavily. And I guess when the referee announced their name or the ring announcer announced their name, everybody booed like crazy.
It was a terrible name.
Terrible.
Conrad started the podcast this weekend, his podcast with, or didn't start it, but early on he said, what the F was up with the war or the Viking experience.
He said it. They don't usually comment on today's wrestling.
I know, but it was just it was very appropriate. That was a bad decision.
Everybody was making experience jokes last week.
Only me and Eric were the ones who understood it.
I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I mean, I understand that Vince is crazy, and if you tell me it's a Vince McMahon decision and it happened an hour before the show, I mean, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I was just disappointed.
I mean, that sounds like Vince all the way. It sounds like Vince all the way to me. It's like
the War Raiders were Bruiser Brody and Vince was Invader number 1.
Oh, Jared. Come on, pal.
It's inappropriate.
That's inappropriate. Come on, dude.
Too soon. Hey, too soon? Is it too soon?
It's too soon.
It's too soon. Sorry. Happy birthday, Tony Atlas.
All right, enough. What else happened on Raw that's worth talking about?
I've got the rundown here.
Yeah, let me open up mine too.
I mean, so you get that whole kickoff. I give that an F+. Sure. But the matches were good, and you said now AJ Styles is moving on. Here we go.
What about Sami Zayn?
Until the Firefly Funhouse, Sami Zayn for the 3rd week in a row is going to be my absolute favorite part of Raw.
I feel like
I'm loving it. Now he's cut the same promo 3 times in a row, so he's got to change it up or get an opponent here soon.
It's like when he was walking to the ring, I was getting annoyed, and we were eating dinner, and Brittany was like, "WTF? Like what is this? Like, what are you watching?" And that's when it hit me again. It's like, that's the way we're supposed to feel. And it's not that he's annoying in the right way. He's getting to me in a way that I haven't been gotten since I didn't understand what wrestling was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
like you can't stand the guy, but it's not like you can't stand the guy or you just wish he wasn't even on your TV. He bores you. You can't stand the guy. You want to see somebody hit him in the face.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you want to see Sami Zayn take a beating, and that is talent, pal.
I want to see him take a beating from Invader number 1.
Oh. Too soon, Rob.
It just shows you how much I dislike the guy. Oh, and here's another thing we didn't talk about. And I think I like this, although I might want to hold my breath until after tonight on SmackDown. But the bar is split up, and I think I like this. Your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I like it. I like Cesaro in singles, and I thought the match with Cedric Alexander was very good.
Okay, agree 100%. But then the flip side of that coin is we have Sheamus on singles.
Yeah,
or is he hurt?
And you have, I mean, the bar's music is Sheamus's music.
I was bummed about that too. I agree.
So, I mean, you have, it made sense when they came out of the bar. I really liked it. But is that Cesaro's music now? I'd be okay if they don't go back to like the sirens and that music, but they could give them a new theme.
Yeah, not the Sheamus theme though.
It's the Sheamus theme with the Sheamus lights.
Yeah.
And the way the Titantron video went, it indicated to me that they're going to keep it for a little while.
Yeah, maybe. But I am happy because he's a really good wrestler.
Which one? Both of them are, but Cesaro for sure.
I'm getting an update. Hold on a second. I got 2 messages I missed, and oh my goodness, I got 3. Hold on, people are blowing us up, Jared. Give me one second. Us up.
Also, Billy Kay and Peyton Royce were smoking hot last night. I liked their promo. I love those girls. Eric Cornish said that they didn't make the matches in the ring, but Seth acted like he didn't know about it, even though we all did. So we're both kind of right there. Thanks, Eric. Yeah.
All right. Steve says Sheamus is hurt. Oh, and possibly done for good. I didn't. Well, I mean, I'm not going to cry about that one. I don't want to wish somebody's career over, but if it had to be anybody.
Listen, I got Ryback out a few years ago, and Sheamus was your Ryback, so I won't begrudge you.
Yeah. So I don't want to. The real Rob Hirschbuel is like, listen, sorry to hear about that, Sheamus. Sorry about your luck. But, I mean, the guy who hosts this podcast is inside doing backflips.
I mean, the podcaster was booking matches against the Invader with Sheamus.
What else do we have?
We're going to Puerto Rico, pal. It's a dangerous territory.
Happy birthday, Tony Atlas.
Happy birthday, Tony Atlas. Happy birthday, John Cena.
It's a great podcast when we say Tony Atlas first.
Happy birthday, Tony Atlas. Happy birthday, Terry Gordy. Happy birthday, Moose. Happy birthday, Dominic Djokovic. And happy birthday, John Cena.
What else do we have? Is there anything? I mean, did we get the big stuff, Jer?
Well, we didn't really, because we haven't gotten all the way through. I mean, the way that they had it set up, AJ Styles wins his. We can skip to Baron Corbin wins his. And I did have a fear in the pit of my gut that they're going to have the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, which, by the way, is the same night as the Game of Thrones finale. And whether that means anything to you or not, you know that means something to a lot of people. They've got some stiff competition. I was like, they're going to give us Seth Rollins and Baron Corbin, and I'm going to hate this.
But they didn't.
And they didn't. And I'm a little surprised they're giving us, but I am surprised they're giving us AJ Styles this early. Aren't you?
That was my pick. I assumed it was going to be AJ.
Before it all shook out, I thought it was going to be Joe.
I didn't. I don't think they got Joe 2 belts.
I don't think Joe's going to win 2 belts. I don't see Seth dropping this at Money in the Bank.
Oh, yeah. I just still think that they'll have a different program for Joe.
And so that big firm handshake at the end indicates that somebody's going to get Shinsuke Nakamura in the nuts at the end, maybe. I don't know.
Right in the Nakamuras.
right in the Nakamuras. Becky 2 belts came out. Alicia Fox. They got to do something with Becky in a hurry here.
You know what it made me realize? How'd they even know that what's her name? Fox. Alicia Fox was drunk that one day at the house show. How can you even tell?
She's a mess all the time.
I feel like she comes out like she's on ecstasy. Like I have no idea what's going on when she's on screen.
I just keep thinking about Bad News Barrett dated her. And so he was just like, oh, I have some bad news for you. You're dating Alicia Fox.
I mean, yeah, I'm with you. She just doesn't seem like fun. Yeah, I don't get the whole thing. It's a little, I get frustrated when she's on screen.
She seems like fun. She seems like fun, but then at some point you have to sit down and have dinner and you have to talk.
That's what I mean by fun does. Yeah. Okay. I'm with
you. Cause I'm sure that girl is a lot of fun, but she's also, vapid.
She's the permanent F in your F, marry, kill.
Permanent. And the best part about it is when you're done effing her, she'll probably help you kill whoever you're killing. I can't believe that Ricochet put over Robert Roode, but that's where we're going.
We can call when we play it with wrestlers, we can play F, marry, Invader number 1. F, marry, invade.
Hosted by Carlos Colon. If nobody watched the stuff on Bruiser Brody, these jokes are just
they're all probably lost.
Flying over their head. They're flying over their head. Yeah, and so AJ gets it, and then the biggest thing was Firefly Funhouse. I'm so excited about it.
All right, let's see where it goes. I think
what's your bet?
What?
There's a lot of places it can go that's great. Do you think they're going to poop it up?
Eventually it all gets pooped up, Jer.
Because this is the kind of weird that I have high hopes for it. I know a lot of people had high hopes for the woke and broken character. I didn't have high hopes for that. I have high hopes
to like it.
Well, so far I'm not forcing myself to like this. I actually, when he came out, I thought I was going to hate it, and then I loved it.
This is another example of you making me more excited for something.
When Bray Wyatt yells, "Yowie, wowie!" and then he picks up a chainsaw. The only thing that took me out of it is if he's a real psycho, chainsaws use gas. Psychos use gasoline chainsaws, right? Uh-huh. Leatherface wasn't running around in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre with an extension cord.
I didn't even notice, but it's a good point.
Nobody's plugging in their chainsaw in a horror movie, Bray. Come on.
Well, it wasn't a horror movie. It was a kid's show.
Quit trying to be green. I know it's Earth Day, but this is ridiculous.
All right, Jerry. I think we covered it all. I think that we really got it all.
We got that would have been the best way to get away from Leatherface and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You just have to run 105 feet. The extension cord stops.
I feel like you keep doing it. You still got 2 in the chamber, don't you?
I don't know. I'm going. That's all I ask.
No, I know. I mean, still, please keep going.
I have nothing else. Happy birthday, Tony Atlas. We're good.
Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Like I said, tomorrow we're gonna have to skip it, but we will get to our SmackDown recap Thursday. Thanks for watching live. I appreciate the help there from Eric and Steve, and of course, what? Go ahead.
I love at the end of Texas Chainsaw Massacre when Leatherface takes off the mask and he's wearing another mask. He's Invader number 1.
So long, everybody.